Hello, everyone. So this is part two in follow-up to my first video on resetting your way to recovery. In that video, I talk about the concept of how we reset our nervous system by going loose, allowing, letting it all happen, coaching ourselves through the difficult moments, not adding second fear. Every time we do that, we're resetting our nervous system. So it's practice, but another way to think about it is we're just moments of resetting throughout each day, which build up together to desensitize the nervous system, activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which we're doing anyway, but we're just desensitizing, keeping it simple as we get closer towards recovery. Now, I wanted to talk about the vagus nerve reset, which is getting a lot of traction. A lot of clients ask me about it, and it can actually be very confusing for people. So I thought I would just do a video to talk about what you need to do, if anything, in regard to the vagus nerve reset in order to recover. So I've just looked up online what the recommendations are about the vagus nerve reset. So for what it is, if people haven't heard about it, it refers to interventions aimed at stimulating and strengthening the vagus nerve, which is a key part of the parasympathetic nervous system. Great. So the parasympathetic nervous system is almost like you're putting the foot on the brakes. So the adrenaline surging, which is the sympathetic nervous system, activating flight or fight, tension, etc. The parasympathetic nervous system is when we go into rest and digest. So heart rate slows, adrenaline dissipates, feel calmer, digestion kicks back in, the immune system's working well, the heart rate slows, etc. And so the research shows that it's the vagus nerve that's instrumental in activating the parasympathetic nervous system. And what it says is that there are interventions that people do in order to stimulate the vagus nerve or reset it so that we go into this parasympathetic rest and digest mode more and more. Now, if we are doing that, then yes, we are desensitizing. But the good news is you're probably doing it now. So that's the first thing already. What it says online is that there are different things we can do, such as eye movements. Holding one, moving eyes to the side, massaging different points in the ear, deep breathing and meditation, humming and singing. So if I'm humming away, then presumably it's sending different signals to the body. So these things all make sense. Laughter, lifestyle changes, they all make sense, but they are less helpful in without knowing sensitization. So that's the key difference. And the good news is everything I talk about in the videos, you're already resetting the vagus nerve because everything's connected. Parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, the vagus nerve, who cares really? It's all connected. It's all acts as one symptom. You don't really know the difference between each. Is my vagus nerve being reset? Who knows? Now, I don't disagree with the theory, of course. In some ways, it's aligned to the work I talk about. But every time you allow, go loose, reset, drop the shoulders, it's just adrenaline, just the heart rate's not serious, go loose, slow down, walk slow, talk slow. You are resetting the nervous system. You're giving the brain a different signal. The body's calm, so the brain's like, well, maybe I don't need to be in flight or fight. Maybe there isn't that tiger that's about to eat me. So you're doing that already. You're already doing the vagus nerve reset, at least as it's outlined here. So it's nothing you need to add in or do or worry about. Now, some people talk about tapping. You might have heard of that. These eye movements, as I said before, humming, singing. Now, they all make sense in theory because if I'm doing eye movements like this, then the body can get confused and say, well, hang on, maybe there is no tiger. The problem is when this stuff is taught without understanding sensitization, so your body's still screaming at you and you're trying to do these eye movements to get rid of the anxiety, or you're trying to tap your way to peace, Now, these techniques aren't bad or good, they're fine, as long as you're not doing them to get rid of the anxiety, which is why people don't have success. I'm humming, please go anxiety. You're waiting for it to happen because it's not taught with the understanding of nervous system sensitization. Now, maybe it is. Maybe some people do it that way, so I don't want to tar everyone with the same brush. Maybe it is taught like that. Maybe people have success with it like that. But if you're following the work that I do, the work of Claire Weeks, you're already doing a vagus nerve reset, or you're resetting the nervous system anyway by going loose, allowing, floating. So if you do use these other techniques, great. I just encourage you to use them without trying to get rid of the anxiety. Stay as long as you want. Do what you need to do. I'm just going to slow down, go loose. I'm going to tap away. I'm going to do the eye movements. I'm going to smile. That's fine. But if you're doing it like this, waiting for it to go, waiting for the symptoms to stop, which I know a lot of people do, then you're already on the back foot. So the principles in some way are aligned. You don't need to think about the different parts of the nervous system, whether it's the vagus nerve, whether it's the parasympathetic, whether it's the sympathetic. If that helps with your understanding, great. But in the moment of fear, all you do is have to allow it go loose, slow down, move forward, and as best you can, float through the tension, and you're already doing what they talk about here. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, if you use it, that's great. That's great to hear. Again, I would argue if you're having success, it's probably because you already understand sensitization and you're doing it in a really helpful way without trying to stop or get rid of anything. Because if you are doing that, then you're buying into the bluff. If you're trying to force it, get rid of it, wait for it to go, then we're already on the back foot because we're buying into the bluff. Hope that helps. If you've got any questions, let me know. But as always, I'm sure I will see you again soon. Take care.